We went to the morning one, so Rowan was gracious enough to go with me, because my kids are outside of Bluey age, but
Right,
I
well
have seen some
outside.
episodes because I have a blue heeler dog, so
So Sam.
we
Sam's well outside of Bluey age, but
I'm well outside of Bluey age, and I love Bluey. Yeah. Even Nathan likes Bluey, and he's
it's
not their
funny.
target audience
Yeah,
either.
it's funny.
welcome back, everybody, to this week's episode of the DCL Duo podcast, brought to you by My Path Unwinding Travel. And Sam, it's jingle time. Do the
That's
jingle.
right. Simply the best. Better than all the rest.
All right. Continuing our streak of Canadian reviews, we are headed over to a review from Rufkim. Rufkim. I'm going to say Rufkim is what they're going for, who writes, one of the best Disney podcasts. This hardworking duo puts out a regular schedule of interviews and discussions about all things DCL. Great selection of guests and well produced. Keep up the great work. All right, short and simple. Love it.
I like
Love
it. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I feel like when people compare us to like other Disney podcasts, like I'm always very humbled because there's so many great Disney podcasts out there in the community. Obviously, there's not as many Disney Cruise Line focused ones, but there's lots of general Disney podcasts that do dabble in cruising. So super honored to be compared to that platform of amazing creators out there.
Well, it says best Disney cruise podcast. It does not say best Disney podcast.
I thought it said Disney podcast.
Don't pat yourself on the back too hard
All
there.
Right.
But,
all right.
appreciate it nonetheless.
Either way.
This is also from like 2021, Samantha.
Okay,
This review rolled in. So,
and we weren't that good back then. So
we were decidedly not. All right. Well, thank you for that review. We really appreciate it. As always, remember, one of the easiest ways to help support the show, head over to Apple Podcasts, hit those 5 stars. And if you also leave us a written review with your 5 stars, then we will read it on the air at the top of one of our main episodes. You can also hit the stars, the thumbs, all the things, the whatever they're called, the hearts, on all the platforms. We appreciate it all. Maybe I'll head over to Spotify one of these days and see if they have written reviews and we can read some from there. But for now, thank you so much for the review. And Sam, over to you to intro our guest and topic for today.
Yes, I'm super excited to welcome first-time guest to the show, not first-time cruiser, but second-time cruiser to the show. Welcome to the show, Melissa. Yeah, we're excited to have you too. Thanks for reaching out. As we try to remind people occasionally, the way to become a guest on our show is just to reach out to us. You can do that through our website or via email. In either way, and we have a booking system for booking a recording with us. And we love to have new folks on. I always encourage people, if you want to be on the show, reach out like 2 to 3 months. I kid you not now, 2 to 3 months before your cruise now, because we actually, our booking calendar books up about 2 to 3 months in advance nowadays. But we love having new folks on, and of course, repeat guests as well. But Melissa, it's so good to have you on. I know you had cruised once, actually you cruised twice prior, but once this was your second Disney cruise. But tell us, like, first, where does the love from Disney come from, and how did you first get into cruising?
Yeah, absolutely. So definitely grew up through the renaissance of the Disney film time. And my grandfolk were, very into Disney. They had all the VHSs, but Disney kind of has a special place in my family's heart. Quick story. My grandfather had a nose surgery and the doctor messed up. It ended up hitting his membrane and had like a brain leak that we didn't know for, I don't know how many days, but for days. So he had to have emergency brain surgery, lost his sense of smell. And so with that, you also lose a lot of taste in things. And then he had to emergency, retire. So kind of lost a sense of purpose and, went into a state of depression from that. And, I was 4 or 5. I was the only one that really could get him to like take his pills, go do things. And then as any kid would, there was an ad for Disney World on the TV. And I said, Grandpa, can you take me to Disney? And he said, yes. And that kind of gave him a renewed sense of purpose. And he started working on his Travco motorhome from the 60s, 70s, got it up and running. And we went from Michigan to Florida, and he took me to Disney World when I was 5. So,
wow.
and that's just kind of what he needed.
Yeah, he needed like that a little kind of he needed that little grandbaby to be like, I need you around, Grandpa, and I need to do something fun with you. That's such a sweet story. You know what? That's crazy. Brian and I were literally just talking about somebody else who had one of those where
Yeah,
they
this happened to my dad and a guy that worked with my dad. Yeah, and he was like in the office after some nasal surgery, and then all of a sudden, just like clear fluid just started leaking out of his nose, and yeah, it turned out that they had similar to your grandfather. Sounds like so. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
craziness. Yeah. Okay, so you guys caravanned down to Disney from Michigan. Now, was this a repeat trip? Like, did you do this several times, or was this one of those once in a lifetime, one and done kind of a things?
It was a one and done, as a young kid. And then I took my boys when it was actually during COVID that we went. So it was kind of a unique experience doing that. So they were like young teenage at that point. So that was the first time. And then we've been either Disneyland or Disney World every year, kind of stuff.
Oh,
Well,
nice.
at least me. They haven't always gone, but I've gone
Yeah.
every
So
year.
you caught the bug hardcore, and then jumped into DCL. Now, when was your first Disney cruise? And then I think you had said you took a cruise on another line as well.
Yes. So I did my first Disney cruise in 2022. So kind of coming back up from the pandemic. It was Alaska on the Disney Wonder. Was amazing. The boys
Oh my
went with
God, you
me.
started like the top of the game, Melissa. Like it can only go downhill if you start with Alaska. Like, what were
Right.
you thinking?
Well, it was supposed to be the dream. So I finally actually did my dream cruise, but we were supposed to be on the dream, and then COVID happened, and then we rescheduled to the Wonder in Alaska. So, and I coupled that with an Adventures by Disney. So we did the Southern California and then went over to Vancouver and did the Alaska cruise.
Oh, wow. So yeah, I mean, you did it up like really big for your first your first ABD and your first cruise like back to back. That's amazing. All right, well what led you to book the Disney Dream for this recent 3-night cruise out of Fort Lauderdale?
Yeah, so they ran that sale where it was like the third and fourth, guest was free. So I was like, that sounds like a really amazing deal. And so I found this one here. It would line up where they would only miss just a little bit of school being in high school. Try to be careful of that. So lined up really nicely. So I did it as a Christmas gift for my boys, trying to focus more on experiences than stuff. So they received the cruise as their Christmas gift. And I must have been a little psychic because we were gone during like the big polar vortex that we had here in Michigan. So we missed that extreme cold. So they only ended up missing 2 days of school due to the
Oh, because
snow
they shut
days
the
and
snow
cold
days,
days.
which you guys don't actually get a lot of snow days in Michigan because you actually know how to
We're used
handle
to it, yeah.
snow. Well, unlike
Right.
a lot of the rest of the country, you guys can actually handle
Yeah.
snow. But wow. Okay, so how old are your boys? I know they're in their late teens, but how old are we talking?
Yeah. So my oldest is 18 and my youngest is 17. So they're 16 months apart. Yeah.
Yeah, so they are like right at the edge of even being. One is an adult, technically speaking. I mean, they're adult prices on Disney, but so is our son Nathan. He's at 12. If you're older than I think it's 9 for at least for the parks. I think for the cruise line it's is it 9 or is it 12, Brian? I can't remember. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, but
I
anyway,
think it's I was looking at the DVC point chart. I think it's like 13 and up counts as an adult. It's like something to
yeah,
12 and then
something.
13 and up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Disney like basically considers you an adult after Disney in general considers you an adult when you're like older than 9. It's
If I'd
kind of
been smarter when I
crazy.
was a kid, I would have gone into a bar and said, "Well, I'm an adult. Give me a drink."
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Well, now what was the reaction from the 17 and 18-year-old when you said, "Hey, Merry Christmas, we're going on a Disney cruise." Like, were they I mean, not every 17 and 18-year-old boy in particular is going to be excited to go on a Disney cruise, but there are plenty who would be. Nathan at 12 is excited to go on a Disney cruise. So, yeah, what was their reaction to that?
Yeah, it definitely wasn't as cute as like, a 7 or an 8-year-old jumping up and down. That maybe have been my fantasy, but that quite didn't happen. No, but I got tickets made on Etsy, to say like you're going on a cruise, and they were like super nervous about losing the ticket. I'm like, it's fake. You can't lose the ticket. It's
Oh, they
fine.
thought it was like a real like ticket. This is what you need in order to get on the ship. No, no.
Yeah,
You need your
yeah.
passport and you need the QR code, but you do not need a ticket.
Nope. So I think they were a little overwhelmed maybe for a second, but then like when they started to realize, oh, I get to miss some school and we get to kind of go away, then they were a little bit more excited.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. Now, are they big Disney fans too? I mean, you're obviously a big Disney fan, but are they big Disney fans?
Yeah, yep, I think so. Especially my oldest, he's really into kind of the history and some of the pop culture stuff around it. And then my youngest, loves all the Marvel and the Star Wars and all that.
Awesome. Now, this 3-night sailing out of Fort Lauderdale on the Dream. Did you go? What was it? Castaway, Lookout? Like, did you have a port stop?
Yeah, so we had two port stops, Nassau and Lookout.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that itinerary because the Dream has been doing all different kinds of things. Sometimes she's doing 4 nights, sometimes she's doing 5 nights, sometimes she's doing 3 nights. So she actually has changed up her itinerary. I feel like a little bit more than some of the other ships, and she is the ship that there have been some really great deals to be had on. Now, this wasn't a Marvel Day at Sea cruise, was it? No. Okay.
No, no, that would have been cool, but nope.
Yeah, yeah. Well, what, if any, planning did you guys do for this cruise? It was just the three of you, right?
Right. Yeah, yep. So I knew that we weren't going to get off in Nassau, so I wanted that to kind of be our at sea day. So we stayed on, even though we've never been there, but I just wanted that kind of at sea day. And wasn't really any challenging time to book what we wanted. So I, did it right away, but I was able to get even being silver Palo Brunch. So I did that with Rowan, my oldest. And then I also signed up for a liqueur and chocolate tasting and had no trouble getting any of those things. I didn't try for a cabana, but
Sure, sure. I mean, at Lookout, it's not impossible, but it's not easy to get a cabana. It's becoming easier, a little bit easier at Castaway because of the new Mickey and Minnie cabanas being added, but still, it's not. And you wouldn't have been able to do a Serenity Bay cabana, which, generally speaking, it's a little bit easier to get adult-only cabanas in Serenity Bay at both of the private island locations. But just because you have a 17-year-old, that obviously isn't going to work. But that's awesome that you were able to book Palo Brunch. Now, I imagine that was on Nassau Day because you didn't actually have a sea day. Yeah. So for those listening, if you are on a sailing that has no sea day, meaning you only have port days, but if you have, but you're going to Nassau as one of those, typically what DCL will do is they will offer Palo Brunch on that Nassau day. It is really the only port where they tend to offer that option. So if you're on a sailing that has a sea day, that will be your day for Palo Brunch if you want to book Palo Brunch.
Did you have a pirate night on your sailing?
we did. Yes, we did. We didn't have the pirate menu, but we had the fireworks and the deck show.
Yeah, so because you had a 3-night sailing, obviously you're only going to have one night in each of the restaurants. And Brian asked about Pirate Night because oftentimes if you've got a shorter sailing, there are some things that you may or may not have time to do, right? Like it is one of those kinds of sailings where everything's kind of shoved into those 3 days. So it's really, really packed 3 days of sailing. Well, let's talk about getting down to the port. You're, of course, having to fly to Florida from Michigan, unless are you taking like a caravan like your grandpa did?
No, we definitely flew.
All right.
Yeah,
All right. Well, Melissa, when did you fly into Florida?
definitely the day before. So that was kind of part of my planning is we had a early flight. It was like 7 a.m. So we were going to get to Florida still, in the morning time. So what, we were going to do for the day and things like that. So it's only about a 2.5 to 2 hour and 45-minute flight. So it's not bad. A little longer than Orlando. But we stayed at the Home 2 Suites by Hilton. So they had a airport shuttle and they technically had a cruise one you could pay for, but we didn't use that. It was cheaper to do Lyft or Uber for the port. But very nice hotel. Our room was actually ready when we got there, which was great. And then we went to a place called Gramps Restaurant, which is like a deli, and they're only open for breakfast and lunch. And they were on diners, drive-ins, and dives. That's one thing I love doing when I travel is look up what TV food was around in the area, and then we tried going to those restaurants. So we went there and had matzo ball and
Ooh.
yeah.
Okay, Brian, put this on your list. We got to put this on our list. Gramps.
Sure. I'm adding it to the list of everything that you've said. Add to the list from the show. Where was this out in the like Cocoa Beach area or where?
No, Fort Lauderdale, Brian.
Oh, Fort Lauderdale. Sorry. Dream. Yes, Fort Lauderdale. My bad.
Yeah. So now, was this walking distance to your hotel, or did you have to take a Lyft or Uber to the restaurant too?
We took a Lyft or Uber. If you were feeling,
ambitious,
spunky.
I like that. Spunky.
You could have probably walked.
Yeah.
The streets there are a little intense, but yeah.
Oh yeah. There's a traffic in Fort Lauderdale is no joke. It's not it's not a quiet, sleepy town that you might think it sounds like. There's a lot of traffic out there. Well, that's pretty cool. I have to say we do enjoy diners, drive-ins, and dives ourselves. Big fans of that show, and always looking for good food to try. I think that's
No Reservations is also a good one to check out.
Yes,
the Anthony Bourdain series, and then
Man versus Food.
Man versus Food.
Man versus Food. Well,
Although I will never.
Food is when you want like those huge.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you can go to the restaurants and not order those 10-pound hamburgers, but
or the spiciest chicken wings in the world kind of thing. Yes,
right?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Not sit well with you, Sam.
We're not going to do that. But I love a diner deli, and some matzo ball soup. So that would be absolutely.
Their black and white cookie was so good too.
Oh, you're speaking my love language, Melissa. Oh my goodness.
There's also a really cool ice cream place that's just right next door to them. That's called Jackson's Ice Cream Parlor and Restaurant. And it was really good too. And my son was super impressed that you get like free popcorn with your ice cream because he loves popcorn.
You know the funniest thing? We were literally on the live show just a few weeks ago. We had our friends Haley and Drew on, and they mentioned Jackson's as well, although they didn't mention it by name. And literally today on Instagram, our friend Wesley commented on a post and said, "What was the name of that ice cream place?" And I had to tag Haley to ask her. So yeah, So literally just talking about Jackson's today, we have to go. Okay, so now we have like 2 places we have to go because I need the matzo ball soup at Gramps and I need to try this ice cream and popcorn at Jackson's. I love these tips.
Need is a strong word, Sam.
Need. Well, we're gonna be back on the Destiny in December, and so we're gonna be sailing out of Fort Lauderdale. So it's a perfect opportunity to go. But of course, you said it's a breakfast and lunch place, so we may have to go. We have to go before we go get on the ship in the morning, or maybe on our back-to-back day. Maybe we actually get off the ship for a couple of hours. God forbid we should do that. And
Nope. Adult pool takeover day. That's my day. You can go eat all the black and white cookies you want, Sam.
I might go myself.
I did meet a celebrity this day too. So you're going to laugh. So we went to the Old Florida Bookshop where Peter the cat is a local celebrity. So you can actually find him all over TikTok too. So he lives at the bookstore, and if you go to the bookstore when it's closed, they have some books for sale outside, and they're like $1, $2. You put the money through like this little slot in the door, and he'll grab the money from you. I don't know where he takes it after that, but
I've seen one of those videos of him taking when the store is closed, of him taking the money from the slot. I absolutely have seen that. That's hilarious. So you met a celebrity, Peter the cat. I love that, Melissa. This is great things to do in Fort Lauderdale. Like it's a bustling metropolis. Right?
Yeah, but you know what's sad, Sam, is Peter the cat probably has more followers than we do. So
probably. I have no doubt. That's okay. I'm not no shame in Peter's game. All right, like I love it. All right. Well, Melissa, you spend the day in Fort Lauderdale. The next day, you're waking up, you're getting ready for your embarkation day. Like, how long did it take you to get to the port? What were the logistics of that morning?
Yeah, absolutely. So we took a lift. It was a little bit cheaper to do that than what the hotel was offering, but it was only there's a lot of traffic because there's the different areas of the port. So there was a lot of congestion when we first got there. But without that, it probably was like a 10-minute drive from the hotel, which was great. So he was able to drop us off. We had boarding group 6, I believe. So it was like 11:30, so we were able to get through everything quick. I did kind of learn something with the check-in. So I bought magic bands, but I put them in the check bag instead of bringing them through with me on check-in. So they didn't get programmed at check-in. I had to go to guest services later. So make sure you don't put your magic bands in your check bag.
Yes, if you
Carry them
put
with you.
yeah, if you put your magic bands in your check bag, it just means you're going to have to take that extra step on board of going and waiting in line at guest services. Whereas it's really easy when they do it at the port, they're doing it as part of your check-in, and so it's literally just an extra step for them to code your bands while they're checking you in. So it maybe adds a minute or two of time to your check-in at the port if you do it beforehand. Whereas if you do it on board, not that it takes long to code them, it takes the same amount of time to code them on board. It just means you're going to wait in line at guest services on board, because I can tell you, I have not been on a sailing where there is not a line at guest services literally all the time.
I think if you pick the right time of day, because I have clearly walked up to guest services like straight away. But yeah, yes, peak times are terrible. But if yeah, if you
Right.
pick the
And
right
right.
time of day, yeah.
Right. And well, and if you go right when you get on board, if you have an
Oh,
earlier boarding, if you have an earlier boarding time, you might be okay. But if you have a boarding time that's like kind of in the middle or later, that guest services line that's the longest. Is the beginning and end of the cruise are the two longest times, because it's people like dealing with all kinds of issues on the front end, and then on the back end it's people dealing with like things about having to do with their bill typically. Like, let's be honest, it's. All right, well, this is your first time sailing out of Florida, actually, because or sailing out of Disney's terminal in Florida, in Fort Lauderdale. What did you think of the terminal and the check-in process? You had done it in Vancouver, which of course is a pretty well-oiled machine there as well, but like it's Disney's dedicated terminal in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, it was really nice. They had, cute like murals on the wall, and yeah, it was great. I can't complain about anything with the check-in process in the terminal. Lots of seating available, and we saw the family of the day and all that. So yeah, it went great.
Awesome. Okay, well, now you get to board, of course, the beautiful Disney Dream. It's your first time on a Dream class ship. You'd only been on the Wonder previously. What did you think of that beautiful, entry into the atrium? Your family name is announced. Like, tell us about that experience.
Yeah, it was very exciting. So I remembered about the name announcing. I don't think they did because they were a little like, oh, what's going on? So I had them just say all of our, first names. So that was fun. And she had tried to remember them all, but she did it. And so that was really fun. Very bright in there and, just beautiful, much bigger. I was just on a royal ship in the fall, and it was one of the smaller ships on Royal, so way different, with the size and how open it is in comparison.
Nice. Awesome. Well, what was your first like course of action? Are you like headed to cabanas? Are you headed to sit down lunch? Are you headed to the spa? Like what was how did your day start on the Disney Dream?
Yeah, so I wanted to check out the teen area, and I was hoping to get them registered, but they weren't open and ready for that yet. But it is a little hard to find the teen area on the Dream. You have to like go outside and around, and it looks like you're kind of in a crew area. We finally found it. They weren't open yet, but it does look cool with like the tunnel and the lights that they have over there. So he knew at least where it was. So then we went to sit down, and it was an animator's palette for this day.
Nice, nice.
Yep.
Now, had you done sit down lunch on your first cruise, or did
Yes.
you? Okay, yeah. I especially with teenagers, I feel like, I mean, unless they really love a buffet, some people really love a buffet and they want the peel and eat shrimp or the crab legs, and I totally understand that. But like, I think it's such a nice way to start with a relaxing sit down lunch. Animators is a great place to do it. Of course, on the Dream class, that's where they do the sit down lunch, and actually, I think on the Magic. Oh no, on the Magic class they do it in either uh Tiana's or Rapunzel's, I think. That's only concierge lunch, Brian. So Lumiere's and Triton's is concierge lunch, but the regular lunch is typically in Rapunzel's. Yeah, Rapunzel's or Tiana's. But yeah, Animators I think is a great place to like start your cruise. Well, let's talk about some of the stuff you did on board your sailing, Melissa. Like, are you guys deck party people? Do you go to the sail away party? Do you go to the pirate night party? Like, what are the kinds of things you guys like to do?
Yeah, absolutely. So me and my oldest especially did like going to all the deck shows and the fireworks because that's the first time experiencing them because we didn't have that with the Alaska cruise. So we really enjoyed checking that out and seeing the fireworks and the pirate party.
Awesome. Love that. Now, did you guys do like the sail away party too? Or because the sail away party is pretty similar. I mean, it is different. There's each class of ships has their own sail away party with very little variation between, let's say, the Magic and the Wonder, and then the Dream and the Fantasy, and then of course Wish class. There's a little bit of variation amongst the Wish class of the show, the very beginning of that deck party show. But each class has its own, sail away versus sail a wave party. But did you guys enjoy that? I know it's focused. I mean, it is more focused to like those younger kids, but did you have a good time at that party?
We did. Yeah, we did. The only thing that we really missed was the see you real soon. We didn't stick around for all of that.
Yeah, totally get that. All right, well, let's talk about some of the other stuff you all did on board. I'm curious with your two teens. One is a vibe kid. One is an 1820 society kid. I mean adult. It's but did either of them end up like spending time with their peer groups? And did they enjoy the spaces or the activities that were offered?
So no is kind of the short answer. So we did the tour of the, vibe area, but he thought it was lame. So they really liked it better on the Wonder. So because they have like the arcade stand-up games, and I don't think they had all of like the PlayStations and the Xboxes and everything out because it was just the open house. So I encouraged him to like go back and, check it out. And then being that it was still a time when school was in, I saw a few teenagers here and there, but I don't think there was a whole lot of teenagers on there. So he did not really spend any time in Vibe, and Rowan did not go to any 1820.
Now, do your boys get a...
what can I ask? Did that impact your enjoyment of the cruise at all? Like, or...
No, I generally am like Sam and want to like go and do everything and all the trivias and stuff. So that was okay. I kind of felt bad because the room steward had to like kick him out
a couple
to
times
be able to clean the room. So he would like disappear for like an hour and go get food generally. But yeah,
we have to do the same with Nathan. We have to like, especially when we're sailing on the East Coast, because it's a little earlier for him waking up and his body clock still feels that it gets at home. And so it's like, all right, buddy, by 10 o'clock, you got to be out of this room so you can clean it. And so, yeah.
Yeah. We're pretty militant about like, you got to get out of the room at least, like for at least a little while. And Nathan has, he will, as long as the club is open, like the edge is open, he's happy to just play video games all day there, basically. But he's not, as Brian mentioned, not going to be up early. And even if we're up early and sort of ready to go and do stuff, but we're like, we got to get you out of the room so that the steward can clean our room because we don't like to impact their ability to do their job. And we like to have our room clean. Let's be honest. Yeah. Well, now, did the boys end up doing stuff together with you or sort of on their own?
Yeah, so Rowan did a few things with me. He went to all the theater shows with me. He did a couple of trivias with me. And then they went and saw Zootopia 2 together because we love going to a movie theater. So they went and saw that together and stayed the whole time, which was good.
Awesome. That's awesome. I think it's a great movie. I'm like I'm a huge fan. I feel like the last actually 2 premieres at sea we've seen, I feel like have been so good. It was like Inside Out 2 and Zootopia 2, and I feel like we got like really, really lucky. Like they hit them both out of the park. So I love a premiere at sea. They're just really, really fun to hit up. Now, tell us, which trivias are you into?
I like all different kinds because even if I don't feel like I know a lot about it, I'm still gonna learn a lot. So I did like a pirate one. I did 80s music trivia. I did 90s. I missed the 2000s one. I think there was like a rock one that I did.
That's a lot. That's a lot in just 3 days.
Yeah. Yes.
I love it. I love it. All right. Well, what about that chocolate and liqueur tasting? Tell us about that. That's one we have not actually done ourselves.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was very focused on some wines, and then there was like one whiskey that they gave us, and like a port. So not necessarily drinks I would have chosen for myself, if it wasn't part of this. But I like learning about the history. So he shared a lot of cool information about port and how it's made. And I didn't know to be called port, you have to be from a certain region too, like Champagne. So I didn't know that at all. There was also a really good piece of Parmesan cheese. That was part of it. That was probably the best. So, yeah, it was really cool. None of the drinks I am hammering for, but maybe that Parmesan cheese.
Yeah, that Parmesan cheese, it's the same one that they serve at Palo. So, 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 so good.
Are you listening to our show because you want to make the most out of your next vacation? Great news, the fabulous team over at My Path Unwinding Travel can help guide you so you don't miss a thing. Their team of professional travel advisors are caring, knowledgeable, and experienced. It's why we use them to book our own travel. My Path Unwinding Travel is an authorized Disney vacation planner, which means they are recognized by Disney for their expertise and service. They have sailed on all the Disney ships, including in concierge, visited the theme parks, adventured with Disney, relaxed at Aulani, and so much more. Whether it's a Disney cruise, a theme park vacation, or Adventures by Disney, or if you are looking to expand beyond the mouse, My Path Unwinding Travel will elevate your next vacation planning experience. Even if you have already booked, reach out for a complimentary consultation to make your vacation even more magical. Ready to talk to the experts? Head over to mypathunwinding.com/DCL Duo or email dclduo@mypathunwinding.com so they know we sent you their way. Thanks, My Path Unwinding, for sponsoring today's show. Now back to the episode.
Speaking of Palo, now you went to Palo Brunch on your Nassau day with Rowan, and I imagine this was his first time at Palo. Was this your first time at Palo? Okay, so I wasn't sure if you had a chance to go in your Alaska cruise, because obviously Alaska, there's like so much to do, of course, off the ship when you're there. But yeah, so tell us what you thought of Palo Brunch and what he thought of Palo Brunch as an 18-year-old.
Yeah, I think he was a little bit nervous about it at first. I think he felt bad leaving his brother behind because he couldn't go being 17. But I got him over that. I'm like, it's fine. I'll do it with him when he's
18, right? I'll do it
Right.
with him next year. Exactly.
This is something special to you and I. So then he was, okay with it. Our waiter was great, and the space was just beautiful. And we had a beautiful view of Nassau from our table, and we could see the Royal Beach Club and, the gazillion-dollar yachts. And it was just beautiful, the ambiance there.
What did you think of the food? That's the most important part, Melissa. We are big fans of Palo Brunch. We're big fans of Palo, period, but mostly for the food. And so I'm curious what you thought.
It was amazing. I'm still thinking about a couple of my dishes that I had. Can't wait to have them again. He also thought it was really good. He's not a super picky eater, but he also thought that it was really good as well.
Awesome. I think the great thing about Palo is it's super accessible too. Like it is, because it's Italian food and most of the dishes are like red sauce based, although not all of them. I feel like let's be honest, most Americans are used to some level of Italian food, and this is just like really like good Italian food, like elevated good Italian food. And so it's not really exotic for most people, but it's sort of this elevated version of what a lot of Americans are familiar with. And so to me, that's the best thing about Palo, because when you go there, even if you're a picky eater, you're going to be able to find something. I mean, in fact, even in our Facebook group, like a week ago, I want to say, somebody asked a question about, my husband doesn't eat red sauce, like doesn't eat tomato sauce. Like, what can I eat at Palo? Or what can I tell him to eat at Palo? And I'm like, oh, here's 4 dishes immediately. Celery soup, grape and gorgonzola pizza, any of like the egg Benedict dishes, depending upon which one you like. And then there's a great ravioli dish there as well. And then like there's other ones too. That's just naming like 4 off the top of my head, right? Like, even though of course for me I go for the tomato soup and the chicken parm, but there's these other great dishes that don't have red sauce. So yeah, love it. Awesome. Well, tell us, what did you think of the shows on board? Now you'd been on the Wonder, so you had seen Frozen, and gosh, oh my God, I'm blanking.
Golden Mickey's.
Golden
and
Mickey's.
Wish?
No, Dreams. Disney
Dreams.
Dreams. Is it
Yep.
with Anne Marie, right? Or
The
yes,
7th grader.
yes, the
eighth grader,
middle
yeah.
schooler.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yep.
So, but now you're on the Dream, and you've got Beauty and the Beast. So please tell me you went to see Beauty and the Beast,
We did,
Melissa.
yes.
Okay,
Yes, we
thank
saw them
God.
all. Yep.
Okay, awesome. What did you think of the caliber of shows?
Amazing. They never disappoint. I still think about Frozen with like that dress transformation. And then you kind of had that with the Beauty and the Beast show. Golden Mickey's was a repeat for us, but still, great. It did have some updates from when we saw it on the Wonder. So that was cool. I was a little worried about Believe at first because I'm like, oh, it's kind of like that middle school kid again show. But it was actually way better, I thought, than the other one. The other one was good, but I thought this one was way better, and the genie was hilarious.
Oh, good. Okay, you had a good genie. That's important. Very important. Awesome. I love that. Okay. Well, we have to talk about Lookout Key because this was your first time. Well, you have not. It's funny. You have not been to Castaway yet, but you went to Lookout for the first time. I got to ask, what your impressions were. Of course you knew about the pier because you listened to our show. So you knew that was coming. You've probably seen videos of it, on TikTok or whatever, right? Like, yeah. What did you think of Lookout Key?
Beautiful. Everybody was right about the sand is so soft and in the color as well. Yes, the pier was long. It felt kind of worse getting back to the ship than it
Yes.
did getting off.
It always feels worse because you're tired and you're hot. Whereas at the beginning of the day, you're like, oh, I'm like fresh as
All
a
gung ho.
daisy, ready for the day. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. We had no trouble getting, a spot on the beach. We had to, still be on the family beach with Ashton being 17, but no trouble getting a space. It didn't really seem like anybody else was really struggling to get a spot. A couple flies, near the food, but nothing like what people were reporting early on. So that wasn't bad. And the lines over there at the food was not bad either. So it didn't seem oversubscribed.
Yeah. What did you think of the food quality at the island as compared to like what you get on the ship, of course?
I did think it was a little lacking. So I don't know if it was just off. I did eat a little bit earlier than I wanted to because, the kids were like, we want to eat. So I wasn't like super hungry. So maybe that was part of the problem. But I was really looking forward to the spicy chicken sandwich. And it was like just kind of oniony tasting. Like it just kind of fell flat for me.
Actually, someone reached out to us today, as I think about this, who they were on the Dream, or they were saying they've been hearing reports of like not great food quality on the Dream from people who have sailed recently. I'm curious, how is the quality of the food on the ship?
It was okay. I didn't think it was as good as maybe when I was on the Wonder or like kind of what I expected. One thing that was kind of weird, and I wanted to bring this up to you guys. So when we went to Royal Palace, is that the French menu? Yes, Royal Palace. I wanted the brie,
The
and
brie.
yep,
No
and they
brie.
didn't have it. Nope. So it was like an eggplant roll up. Somebody called it like ratatouille. I don't think it was technically ratatouille, but it was eggplant roll up, and it was okay. But I was pretty bummed about the brie
Yeah,
situation.
it's funny. Somebody was mentioning that in our Facebook group that they had not seen the brie on the Dream, even though it's still on the menu on the Fantasy, and it's on the menu on the Magic and the Wonder on that same French menu essentially in, Triton's or Lumiere night. But yeah, so I don't know what's going on.
Would it be on the Destiny? I'm wondering if it's like a
No.
provisioning issue in Fort Lauderdale that they just can't get a hold of what they need to make it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Oh, that could be it. It's not on the Destiny. It's not on the Destiny because they don't have that menu on the Destiny. So it's
I didn't know if it was on like 1923 on one of those.
No, they have that there's it's that buffalo mozzarella, no, burrata. There's that burrata dish on that's the kind of the main sort of cheese dish, I would call it, cheese appetizer on the Destiny in 1923. But yeah, so that's interesting. So the food was not quite obviously Palo
Right.
accepting, So food wasn't quite up to par. Now, did you go to Cabanas at all, or did you really
Just
mostly
breakfast?
Okay. And what was the quality kind of? I mean, I don't think the breakfast quality is that great to begin with.
We all know the eggs were bad. So
yeah, were the other the scrambled eggs. When we say the eggs, we're talking about the scrambled eggs.
Yep.
If you can still get made to order eggs, and those are fine, but the scrambled eggs in the vat of eggs are just terrible across the cruise line. But yeah, what was breakfast at Cabanas okay?
Yeah. Yep. The corned beef hash was not like very good, compared to like my local corned beef hash place, but the churro Mickey waffles were fantastic, and the normal Mickey waffles were, and the bacon was all good. So yeah, I think the breakfast was fine.
If you get the churro Mickey waffles these days, it's a win. So
most of the time they're having them. Like it was only at the very beginning when the Destiny first launched that we heard there was must have been a provisioning issue because they didn't have them for like the first several sailings. Except apparently they had them in concierge, which we heard from friends who sailed in concierge.
One thing that was kind of weird is they didn't have Diet Coke on the ship. So I didn't know if that was a holdover from when they were in Europe, because I know Diet Pop's not really an international thing. They had Coke Zero, and if you asked for Diet, they just brought you Coke Zero. But on the pool deck, the sticker was Coke Zero. So they did have cans. Yeah, they did have cans outside of like the movie theater and the Buena Vista Theater, but not fountain pop.
How close was your sailing then to the return from?
It's a ways
Europe?
after. This was in January, right?
Yeah.
Yep, January.
So,
yeah. The return from Europe would have been in October, Brian. So that wouldn't. Yeah, it shouldn't still impact.
It sounds like maybe they're having some provisioning problems down there in Fort Lauderdale, from everything that you're saying. Which that they are at the mercy of the local purveyors. So
and it could affect the food quality. I mean, that could be something that kind of interesting. All right, well, it's cool. We're going to keep an ear out for this this issue as we record more episodes.
I did just ask ChatGPT, and it says Diet Coke is the dominant zero sugar cola product in the United States, but Coke Zero is the dominant sugar-free product in Europe. So who knows? Maybe they overstocked on Coke Zero. They were just trying to get rid of it.
Trying to get rid of it. Yeah. Now, Melissa, what other stuff did you all get up to on board your sailing?
Yeah, so we did see Bluey. So we were on Bluey.
Oh my God. Okay, so you got to tell us about the events. They had like two events. They had one that was like a morning event that was like Wakey Wakey or something. And then there was an evening one that was like a pajama one. Tell us, which one did you go to? Did you go to both? And what I got to know what happened. Like, what did Bingo and Bluey do? I love Bingo and Bluey. Like, what did they do?
We went to the morning one. So Rowan was gracious enough to go with me, because my kids are outside of Bluey age, but
I have seen some
episodes because I have a blue healer dog. So
Sam's well outside of Bluey age. But
I'm well outside of Bluey age, and I love Bluey. Yeah, even Nathan likes Bluey, and he's not their target audience either.
It's funny. And it was packed in there. There was a lot of kids and parents, and there was also some cast members and I think like upper management there to kind of watch it for the first time too. So, they came out and, did a little like morning wake up dance. And then there was the xylophone, and they were like magic xylophone playing. We did leave before they like braked for meeting Bingo and Bluey because I'm like, that's going to be a little too much. But they're tall. So when they came out, I said to Rowan, I'm like, can you imagine how tall their mom and dad must be? They're very big dogs.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that you got to see that for the first time. Yeah. We haven't I remember seeing when it first like when because it broke early, right? Like they were on the dream like a week or two before had been announced that they were going to be there. And I think somebody, messaged me on social media and told me, but I've only seen, I think, one video like out there. Tim Tracker had a good video of the Wakey Wakey. I think it was what it was called, something like that, with Bingo and Bluey. But I haven't seen that much out there. So if anyone who's listening, if you're out there and you've got great video of Bingo and Bluey, please share it with us. I'd love to see. I'd love to see what's going on the dream. It's going to be a while, I think, before we get back on the dream. And I think right now it's the dream and one other ship that they said they were bringing Bingo and Bluey on. I can't even remember which one. They had them on the Wonder for the Australia New Zealand sailings, of course, as well. But I love
Yeah.
that you got to do that.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Amazing.
I do have a little footage I can send you from it too.
Oh, I would love that.
Yes. And they did really cool projections on the D Lounge walls for it. And they did that even for like the Pirates trivia. So they really use that space, I think, really awesome. They also did a friendship bracelet making class that wasn't related to Bingo and Bluey, but I thought that was kind of a cool craft. And I guess I met another celebrity on this trip because I did meet Tim and Jen and Oliver and Jackson. And so that was really cool. They were at the bracelet making class with me.
Oh, awesome. That's fun. I mean, yeah, it's like seeing like the content creator that you like, recognize and watch their videos like it is. Yeah. Well, it's funny when we have met other content creators that we watch, I'm always kind of like a little starstruck. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Like you see them in real life, like they're real people. But that's cool.
I went to Match Your Mate for the first time. I didn't do that when we did the Alaska cruise, so that was hilarious. There was some really funny couples up there.
Nice. And they became mini celebrities themselves after their appearance on Match Your Mate.
Well, I think they timed it out well because that was like the last night.
Oh,
I was gonna say it's not celebrity, it's notoriety.
Notoriety.
Or infamy. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but on most sailings, Match Your Mate is on like the first or second night. And so it often is those folks become notorious early on and then people see them around the ship, for the rest of the sailing. So yeah, really, really fun. Well, sounds like a great sailing, Melissa. Is there anything that we have missed? Any, highlights, lowlights? Like how was the service level overall as compared to the Wonder?
Yeah, so service level overall was great. Our dining team was fantastic. Didn't really feel much of a connection with like the room steward. I didn't even really see her till the second day. The kids did, but I hadn't seen her. I mean, she was fine, but just didn't really have much of a connection like we did when we had that longer sailing on the Wonder. Yeah, but our serving staff was great.
Let me ask this. So now you did a longer sailing on the Wonder, completely different itinerary with Alaska, but you did a longer sailing on the Wonder, and now you did this, 3-night on the Dream. Did you feel like 3 nights was worth it? Would you take a longer sailing in future? Like, how do you judge that 3-night sailing? Because a lot of people wonder, like, is 3 nights really going to be enough for this cruise?
Yeah, I think it definitely was worth it. Definitely nice to get away from the snow and cold here. So that was great in itself. But I think it definitely was worth it, especially with having kind of that early arrival. So it kind of felt like, a day in Florida on the front end. And we actually didn't leave until Tuesday. We got off the ship Monday. So we had another full day in Fort Lauderdale as well on Monday. So we kind of made it a little bit longer a vacation. There's tons that we did not do. Did not do the water slide at all. Did not, there was you just can't with a 3-nighter.
Yeah, you have to, I think with any shorter sailing, even a 4-night sailing, like you really have to prioritize what you want to accomplish because you just can't do, I mean, even on a 7-night sailing, you're not going to do everything that necessarily that you could or would like to do, right? Like you still have to prioritize what are your must-dos and what are your, it'd be nice if I got to do that, but I won't be really upset if I don't. I think that's, and then of course when you get a great deal like you did with the third and fourth passenger was 50%, I believe, right? That like can really also impact your decision making of taking a shorter sailing. Now, if that hadn't been the issue, the school schedule, of course, and the discount, do you think that you would book a shorter sailing again, or would you look at a longer sailing?
No, I definitely would book a shorter sailing again. I mean, longer, always better. But yeah, no, I wouldn't discount it if, everything lined up perfectly.
Well, Sam, I think, wait, you want to kick it over to me for rapid fire tonight? I can do some rapid fire.
Do you want to?
Sure.
Well,
oh my gosh.
Let's do like a topsy-turvy day.
Everyone out there, I'm getting to do rapid fires.
I'm still going to judge.
Yourselves.
Can I still judge?
Brace yourselves. No. If I'm doing rapid fire, I get to
Okay.
judge. All right.
Okay.
All right. Well,
now we have reached that point of the show where Brian's going to subject you to some arbitrary rules, some arbitrary questions, and a dash of judgment, or the round we like to call rapid fire.
My intro is Brian's going to suggest you do no rules and no judgment.
Oh,
and we're just going to have
anarchy.
fun. So here we go.
Anarchy.
Complete anarchy on the TCL
I hate
duo.
that. Oh,
hey,
my
if
God.
you like Brian rapid fire, write in. I want to hear about it. All right, here we go. Let's do rapid fire.
This is a first, Melissa.
That is not a first. I've recorded episodes of my own and had to do rapid fire before.
Okay,
so here we go.
First with me on the show.
First. Oh, I'm an experienced professional over here, Samantha. All right, here we go. All right, Melissa, what is your favorite Disney character?
Yeah, so my favorite Disney character is Cinderella, with Ursula being my favorite villain.
Nice. All right. See, we don't ask that question. Look at that. With favorite Disney villain. I love it. All right. So here we go.
I'm going to add that in. I like that question.
See, already taking notes. Look at how well I'm doing in rapid fire. Okay. Favorite Disney movie?
Hercules.
Nice. Oh, you got to get on the Destiny then. Favorite Disney song?
I Won't Say I'm in Love.
Oh, yes, of course, Hercules. Megara. Well, Megara's, the best song from that show.
All right, now we're going to depart from Sam a little bit because I want to ask a different question, which is, do you have a favorite Disney live action movie? Because we never get any answers about live action.
There's no such thing.
Oh, Miracle.
Okay.
Miracle,
Maybe
Indiana Jones,
some
the
good
entire
Disney sports
Star Wars
movies. It
trilogy.
can't be like if you pick an animated film that was made into a live action, then
Marvel, Sam, they have a whole ship themed around that.
I know. I just want to be clear. If you pick a show that's a live action that was made from an animated show, you're gonna get D's from us.
Well, that's where my mind went first when he said that. I was like, oh, I have to think about that.
That's what I thought he was asking too.
But if we're expanding it to all those different options, I'm actually going to go very old school on this one and go with Escape to Witch Mountain. Not like the terrible remake.
The old school one. Yeah. The one from like the 80s or maybe the late 70s. It might have.
Yes.
It's funny because in our house, I love all the Disney sports movies and National Treasure.
I do love
and
Cool Runnings.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cool
yes,
Runnings.
yes.
Sanka, you dead man?
Especially this time of year.
Yes, Olympic time. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's head over to the cruise line for a second. So, favorite onboard restaurant?
Yes, I'm going to go with the Wonder, and I'm going to go with Tiana's.
Nice. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a solid one. Do you have a favorite onboard bar?
Also the Wonder, and what is it called, Sam? That Bayou
French Quarter Lounge.
French Quarter Lounge.
Yeah,
I knew exactly where you were going.
Oh, that mauve wine that I don't like to drink it, but I love to smell it.
Show Brian.
Not there yet. Hey. It's my rep fire. What about what's your favorite port stop that you've taken?
I'm gonna go Ketchikan.
Nice. I knew the answer would not be Nassau based on your earlier comment about it being a sea.
Well, I mean, she did go to Lookout though.
That was amazing too. Yeah.
But
Ketchikan.
What's your favorite first day activity?
First day activity. Probably the sail away party, just because you can only experience it on that first day. So I would think that.
That's better than my answer, which would be unpacking. All right. Maybe my shave now that I've started to do. All right. Okay. I will ask Sam's favorite show.
Favorite show, it's very tight for me with Beauty and the Beast and the Frozen. They both were just phenomenal. I guess I'll give it to Beauty and the Beast just a smidge.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That's a good answer.
That's the right answer.
See, nope. See, when I do this, I sit silently, Sam. Let's
Okay.
raise our hands if we need to talk. Okay. Just kidding. Favorite? What's your favorite souvenir that you've gotten off of a Disney cruise?
That's a good one too. I love a Spirit jersey, as I am wearing. I have an obscene collection of Spirit jerseys, so probably that. I also do have a thing for the Pandora charms. So I didn't get one on the Dream because they didn't have it in stock. They had some just cruise line in general, but not the Dream Pacific one. But I like to get a charm.
So wait, they're taking up space with these high-end shops, and they don't have the stock.
And then they don't have the charm.
Shame,
but you did
Disney,
get the
shame.
Dream. Is that the Dream Spirit jersey that you're wearing? Yeah, and I love your matching Dream ears as well. So yeah.
All right, I'm going to ask two final questions. I think we know. Well, actually, I'm not going to ask one because I think we know favorite ship is probably the Wonder.
I don't know if we know that, Brian. I would ask.
Is it the Wonder?
Yes, I am.
Okay. All right. Instead of asking Sam's like pixie dust question at the end or the you can go anywhere bucket list, I'm not going to ask bucket list. So maybe I'll let Sam ask bucket list. What is your favorite memory that you've created on Disney Cruise Line?
Probably going back to that Ketchikan answer, we did the crabbing excursion and Ashton got to pull in the trap and he just thought he was like the coolest for being able to do that. And, also in Alaska, he was able to hold every single one of those puppies at the sledding thing. I'm like, how did you get another puppy? Like he was just everywhere. He loves animals. So he really enjoyed that. So those are probably my top two.
Ah, that's the best. That's the best. Puppies in Alaska. There's literally nothing better than that. I love that. Okay, I'm going to ask my question, which is your bucket list cruise. Melissa, if you can go anywhere in the world on a Disney Cruise Line ship, and it doesn't even have to be someplace that Disney Cruise Line currently goes, where are you going?
Yeah. So I'm drawn to the kind of unique sailings, so kind of like the Panama Canal sailings or like the transatlantic, but I really hope that Disney does bring back the Hawaii sailings cuz I'm trying to hit all 50 states by my next milestone birthday, which I have 2 years to get three more states. And Hawaii is one of the ones I need. So I thought that would be really cool, but I might have to
You might
do it
have
a
to just
different
go
place.
to Aulani. You just
Well, my plan was to do like the cruise and then go to Alani for a couple days, but we'll see what happens with that. But almost there.
I will ask my favorite question, which is wait, did you just ask what's next, Sam? No, you asked about okay.
I asked bucket list. I was about to ask the question.
No, yeah. Okay, all right. I want to make sure. Okay, so I'm going to ask what's next, Melissa.
Yeah, so I got a couple things on the horizon. So they're not going to probably watch. So their Christmas present this year is going to be a royal cruise for them to check out, kind of the difference there. So we're going to do a 7-night on Mariner of the Seas out of New Orleans. So I thought that'd be kind of a cool, place for them to go. So we're excited about that. And then we're also going to do the Destiny, me and Rowan. So I told him about that ship and he really wants to check it out. So we're going to do that September of 27.
I bet you'll love the Destiny. I will be super interested. New Orleans is a great place to head, and I've been there many times. In fact, if you haven't, probably somewhere in our back catalog is our discussion of all the great places to stop in New Orleans while you're there. But yeah, love New Orleans. I think you'll just have a blast. That sailing out the Mississippi River, like it can't be beat.
It's just a cool, unique sailing. Now, Mariner is definitely one of their smaller ships, Mariner of the Seas, but I think it'll be a great way to compare because now you've been on Royal yourself, right? But not with the boys.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. So I think it'll be good to see if they like the offerings on Royal and how they sort of compare to what's offered on Disney Cruise Line now that they've had those two experiences on Disney as well. So I definitely think, we talk obviously about Disney versus Royal quite a bit. And of course, Disney has our hearts. But I do think that Royal does a really nice job for, especially with those older kids and older teens, in some of the offerings that they have that are, differently geared as compared to Disney. And so I think that there's, definitely room for both cruise lines in the industry. Let's just put it that way.
Absolutely. I'm hoping to do a Mississippi River cruise too. That's not booked. So if it happens, I'll reach out, Brian, because I know you're pretty interested in those river cruises.
I am, yeah, and I think we have some some friends who do a small ship cruising podcast. I think they have done the Mississippi River, and actually, I just saw today a guest we had on a long time ago. We've not had her back on recently. Heidi from Quirky Cruises was just on a Mississippi River cruise that she's been posting about. So yeah, those look really fun. They look really, really fun for sure. All right.
Absolutely. Well, shout out to our friends at Sometimes Sailing for their small ship cruising
Mikhail,
podcast.
Dan.
Right, yeah, Mikhail and Dan run. They have a blog that is called Sometimes Sailing, and then they also have a podcast about small ship cruising called, I believe, Small Ship Cruising Because Size Matters or something like that.
It's called Small Ship Cruising, but their tagline.
The tagline
I gave them was
Brian,
because size matters.
Yeah. And
so.
Anyway, they have a great show for those interested in small ship cruising of all kinds, expedition, river cruising, all that kind of stuff. They cover a ton of that. Well, Melissa, thank you so much for coming on our show. Now, you yourself are a content creator. You've got a YouTube channel and an Instagram handle. Tell folks if they want to follow along on your travel adventures where they can do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. So on YouTube, it is at Ear for You Travel. So make sure you put that travel in there. Or you might see some ear videos or ear popping videos.
People with ear fetishes.
You don't want that. So Ear for You Travel. And then on Instagram, melissa.ladd, LADD. And then I have a Facebook group, which is Ear for You no travel on that one, just Ear for You ! That group is a place where people ask questions, a lot of where can I get princess makeovers or room decorations, very positive space. So that's been really great.
Awesome. Well, fantastic. Well, Melissa, we'd love to have you back. So please reach out next time you're sailing. And thanks again so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Well, thanks to everyone out there for listening this week. We really, really appreciate it. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you can keep getting great content from us every week. In fact, twice a week we publish shows. So be sure to hit the subscribe button to get all of those great episodes. And if you want to watch us live, we have a live show now every week, Monday nights, 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 p.m. Eastern over on youtube.com/DCL Duo. So be sure to head over and check that out. If you want to help support the show, be sure to hit those 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. And if you leave us a written review, a 5-star written review, we will read it at the top of one of our main episodes. So please head over there and hit those 5 stars. Of course, you can also help support the show by supporting our fabulous show sponsor, My Path Unwinding Travel. If you want to book your next Disney vacation, head over to mypathunwinding.com/DCL Duo or email them at dclduo@mypathunwinding.com so they know we sent you their way. If you've got questions or you'd like to connect with us, the best way to do that is to head over to dclduo.com. It's got links to all of our things, full catalog of the podcast episodes, including a searchable catalog for the podcast, links off to our vlog, a link to our Etsy store where we sell some fun fan-inspired magnets, link to our Patreon if you'd like to help directly support the show each and every month. Just head over to the website or patreon.com/DCLDuo. Also has a way for you to sign up for our Substack newsletter that we're hoping to start really pumping out monthly here at least, and a few blog articles that we've written. So DCLDuo.com is the best way to connect with us. You can also, of course, email us at info@DCLDuo.com or reach out to us on our voicemail line at 402-413-5590. That's 402-413-5590. The DCL Duo podcast is not affiliated with Disney Cruise Line, the Disney Company, or the Disney family of theme parks. The views expressed on the show are solely those of the individuals on the podcast and in no way reflect the views of the Disney Company or Disney Cruise Line. If you have questions about a Disney cruise or a Disney vacation, please contact the great folks over at My Path Unwinding Travel or Disney directly or your own travel agent. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time for another fabulous adventure with the DCL Duo. Good night.